r/askreddit. What will you never stop complaining about? Commercials that. Or, on the radio. I will remember your company. But only because I made a mental note to never patronize it. Assholes. We went to the version of Hulu without commercials because they would keep playing the same depressing ass commercial over and over. Commercials, all of them, are one of the worst parts about entertainment in general. I don't have TV strictly because of commercials. Advertising in general is just one of the worst parts of modern society. People that take one step though a door then immediately stop moving. Or step off the end of an escalator and stop moving. I nearly hit people in front of my office's revolving door on a daily basis. Morons, get off your phone when you're walking, especially through a doorway. People play I Will Always Love You as their first dance song at their weddings, but it's a fucking breakup song. And every radio station blasts Born in the USA on the 4th. No one heard anything outside the chorus. Or Every Breath You Take by the Police. Literally a song about jealously stalking someone. My parents' first dance was You've Lost That Loving Feeling So. Not my complaint, but in the same vein, how Hallelujah somehow became a Christmas song in the last 5 years. Y'all, it's about sex and sadness. People that throw garbage out of their car window or litter anywhere in general. Fuck those people. I get so angry. I don't understand how smokers think it's okay to throw cigarette butts out the window. Like, WTF. People who watch videos or listen to shit in a public place without headphones. Nice to get gold for something I feel strongly about. Be excellent to each other, everybody. Or walk around talking to someone on speakerphone while holding their phone in front of their mouths. Once I was in an urgent care waiting room feeling like cold garbage water when some dude plopped down and started watching The Big Bang Theory on his laptop, no headphones, and had it not been for the laws of this land I would have killed a man that day. I used to have kids in high school that would walk around with several $100 speakers in their backpacks blasting their shitty SoundCloud music that sounded like they recorded it on a pre-packaged PS4 mic. Like, dude, I respect the grind. But Jesus. Buy a pair of headphones like everyone else in the world. Getting out of bed for work. Getting out of bed. People who relocate things that were perfectly placed. My wife and her mom like to put things away aka hide them from me. It's never occurred to them that I put my keys and sunglasses out in the open so I don't have to go looking for them. It took me years to make my mom stop coming into my room just to replace things and such. Now she says like this is your room and you will take care of it. I'm not touching anything there and apparently thinks this is kind of punishment. She is a pedant who can't really put herself into someone's shoes. This makes her think that if I have a mess in my room it hurts my eyes just as much as it hurts hers, but I'm too lazy to clean up. Wrong, my room is very far from being messy and I like it as it is right now. People with a complete lack of self-awareness over how to walk. And people with no social or spatial awareness that stand right behind you in line. People who stand right on top of the baggage carousel at the airport so no one behind them can see or get their bags. If you'd all step back, we'd all be able to see and grab our bags in an orderly fashion. Idiots. When you see yours, simply dart through the crowd, grab it, and do your best to whack each and every person nearby with it as you pull it from the belt. It's satisfying. I get irrationally angry at this. It has been a long flight, I'm tired and I just want to get my bag and leave. I stand a respectful distance back and then some asshat pushes a luggage cart between me and the carousel and just stands there blocking. It is not like standing right next to the carousel is going to make your bag come out any faster. I'd like airports to put a line around the carousel stating please wait behind the line until you see your bag. Seriously though. We learn in kindergarten, or earlier, to step the fuck back to let everyone see. Now that I say that though, I'm thinking that we just need school teachers to supervise airports in general. Children, we can't be crowding the exit of security. Okay kids, let's all stand to the right of the escalator. Jimmy, you are in group 4. Get out of line until someone new calls your group. Lack of turn signal use. People who repeatedly and seemingly actively refuse to use their turn signal should have their licenses taken away for life. Why haven't I started sooner? When will I learn? Next time I'll do everything in time, with plenty of time left. Narrator. And then he didn't. Edit. Thanks for all your advices, and apparently, installing Reddit wasn't the right step towards the solution. I've realized that as I keep getting older, I use the phrase "you fucking idiot" for myself much more often than I use it for others. And I use it a lot for others. I'm almost 40, dude, and I still cram everything at the last possible second. I have to submit a major piece of work to my boss tomorrow that should have been keeping me busy over the summer months, and yet here I am on Reddit having not even so much as glanced at it yet. I hate being like this but can't seem to ever make that change. Mosquitoes. Gosh, I hate those little fuggers. Those fuggers and ticks too. How tired I am. I only seem to be getting worse as I get older. Edit. I seem to be getting an awful lot of replies giving helpful medical advice. I've realized my comment might be a bit confusing. When I say I'm only getting worse, what I mean is I'm whinging about it more rather than getting tireder and tireder. That said, I would say I'm always tired, but not to the extent of something like chronic fatigue or anything like that. I'm a waiter by trade, so tiredness due to being on my feet all day and inconsistent sleep patterns should be expected to an extent. The vitamin D suggestion a few of you have said does seem to be quite likely, though. I don't like the sun as I burn easily, and when outside I do try for the shade. One thing it did make me think about was when my car broke down for a few months and I was walking to work. I did feel more energetic. Perhaps it was the extra sunlight I was exposed to. I'm definitely gonna get some multivitamins and see if that helps. Thanks for all your suggestions, guys. TC. I experienced that too and assumed it was due to aging. I went for a routine health check and it turned out I had a vitamin D deficiency. The symptoms are fatigue and lethargy. The doctor advised me to take vitamin D supplements and have more sunlight exposure. This helped me immensely and I no longer feel so tired, so that might be something to look into. Bad drivers. Everyone driving slower than me is an idiot who can't drive. Everyone driving faster than me is a maniac who shouldn't be allowed to drive. People who don't turn their headlights on in the rain make me so damn angry. Hell, I'll even complain about good drivers. If you're on the road, you're fair game. Didn't use your turn signal? Driving too slow? Not having your lights on at night? Putting a whole car length of space between you and the car ahead of you in the drive-through? Not taking over the intersection to make sure more people can squeeze into that left turn? Do you have a bumper sticker or window decal of any sort? Buddying up at the same speed with the car in the slow lane? Are you driving a fucking cube? Any and all of these infractions, and a whole lot more, are guaranteed to give me the grumblies. Geese. Fucking cobra chickens think they own the planet. If you've got a problem with Canada gooses, then you've got a problem with me, and I suggest you let that marinate. The heat. I love when people say in response, "You know it's not the heat, it's the humidity that gets you." Thanks, guy. I instantly feel cooler now that I am armed with that knowledge. Microtransactions in full-priced games. EA. It's not in the game. Similarly with PC games, when you can't have nope than one save file at a time. I paid $60 for the game and you assholes are going to make sure someone else can't play on my game too. I have a whole list. Edit. Y'all, when I said the random capitalization thing, I meant in English. If it's in a different language with an actual system like German, it makes sense. Oh man, some guy came into the work restroom the other day talking as loudly as he could on his phone. I almost yelled out, "Hey, keep it down, I'm trying to take a shit in peace." I never realized it would be possible to be too distracted to drop a deuce. My wife works at a grocery store right next to a Tesla charging station. She's had multiple people, completely unprompted, just tell her that they drive a Tesla while checking out. It must be these people's entire identity. Oh, I have a thing about the Teslas. A grocery store near my home has a couple parking spots in the front with electric car chargers. Pretty certain you have to pay to use them, but it's kinda convenient to be able to charge your car while you're grocery shopping. If only people that park their Teslas there would actually charge the car. I've seen so many just park there not plugged in. It's not VIP parking, okay? If you're not charging, then park somewhere else. But please someone inform me that it doesn't take too long to charge your car, so it's possible they charged and then went in. I don't have a Tesla, so I can't say if that's true or not. That dental insurance is treated as a separate entity from medical insurance. Seriously. And if you have a TMJ issue, it's like the insurers fight over who will pay a claim because it's part skull, part mandible. What to do? Our flippin' doctor's office. There are like 7 ladies that work at the front desk and not one can show me how to use the GD kiosk. They just wave their finger over the desk and yell, use the kiosk. Use the kiosk to sign in. What, you have a question? Type it into the kiosk. Also, for 2 weeks I have been trying to make an appointment, and for 2 weeks I am constantly put on hold or hung up on. Finally I call another part of the office and they say that the number I have been using is deactivated. Then remove the option on the voicemail. Every time with this place. You have the worst doctor's office, dang. My wife not flushing after going to the toilet. Delete her. Women's clothes not having pockets or a sufficient number of belt loops. Witness my rage. Women's shirts being see-through so you have to wear a cami tank top underneath. Women's clothes that assume all women's chests are one size so it can be too tight. I hate the fact that I have a normal sized phone and it still barely fits in the pocket of most of my pants. It won't fit in the pocket of some of my pants at all. The shit the rich and powerful get away with on a consistent basis. This and that child slavery, child abuse still exists. Season 8 of GOT. Season 8 was so bad and the finale so execrable that I've lost interest in the spin-offs. Who cares about White Walker backstory when Arya, my plot armor, will always protect me? Stark will take out the most terrifying and dangerous being in the known world with one physics-defying leap and a glorified kitchen knife. Not to mention the way Dany managed to go completely batshit and turn into a megalomaniac in one episode, undermining 7 previous seasons of character building? Fuck D&D. Edit. Lots of responses and I apologize for not responding to each. I work nights and had to crash. Just wanted to add this addendum. My problem isn't with the ultimate character choices, but the lack of time and context. 8 seasons, and a final 6-episode season, were inadequate to properly end such a complex show. GRRM may well finish up the books in the same way, but we'll have POV chapters and loads of detail that make those choices logical. D&D rushed the ending. They made a deliberate decision to end the show on their timeline in order to undertake different projects, most notably Star Wars. HBO wanted additional seasons. GRRM himself suggested in the early days of the show that 10 or 11 seasons would be a good ballpark figure. D&D are solely responsible for the choice to end the show in 8 seasons, and make an abbreviated 6th season, after an 18-month wait between 7 and 8. The actors, the crew, special effects, music, and sets were always stellar. But the storytelling suffered in the end. Also, yes, I am a proud member of the Our Free Folk. And we do not kneel. It's hard to believe it even happened. I feel like it couldn't have ended in a worse way. Every episode, after Ep 3, just got more and more convoluted. I still love the joke, Jon went north, the dragon went east, Arya went west, and the show went south. School's giving homework on the first day. Edit. I still do it, and it is easy. I just know I'm not a huge fan. My master's program has work due the first day. First day is supposed to be syllabus and intro day and that's it. Don't even try and fug around with a lecture. People that think giving millionaires tax breaks will create jobs, but giving the poor tax breaks would make them lazy. People think that? My stomach problems. I've had stomach problems for more than half of my life, and I'm only 21. Some months I only rarely feel sick, but then there's some months where I'm in agony every single day. People around me seem to get annoyed when I talk about it, which I understand because I do complain a lot. But if you feel shit every day for months on end without having a solution to your problem, you get really emotionally and physically drained. Edit. I'm very surprised how many of us are out there. Now I feel a bit less lonely. Here's to a healthy gastronomic future for everyone. My brother's girlfriend that clogs the toilet every time she uses it. How? Does she take massive shits? Cause then there is nothing she can do about it. Or is she putting in too much toilet paper? If she is putting in too much toilet paper, then she's a fucking idiot, cause it takes a lot of toilet paper to clog a toilet. When it's winter, complaining about the cold, wishing it was summer. And when it's summer, complaining about the heat, wishing it was winter. Edit from Chicago guys. Australia called, heard you were talking shit. Leg day. Complaining about it for the next week is probably the only reason I do it. If you add more leg days to your routine, it will help massively. Try it out. Make sure it's a compound exercise like squats. Keep accessory exercises to a minimum. Aimbot's in online first-person shooters. They are getting so sophisticated that they are basically indistinguishable from natural human movement. Imagine how bad they are going to be in the near future when they are literally assisted by AI. Swap to Rocket League to get your competitive fix and never look back. Aimbots have ruined ranked modes and shooters. Lazy, neglectful, inconsiderate pet owners with chronically barking dogs they leave outside to rot. Fuck all of you. I've said it before and I'll say it again. 1. People who don't wait until others are leaving the tram, bus, train before they try and force their way on. 2. People on the tram, bus, train who won't give up a seat for someone who actually needs it, especially the specifically marked priority seats. 3. People who smoke within 2 feet of the stop, particularly those with electronic cigarettes, that means they bellow huge clouds of smoke. 4. People on public transport who listen to music using their shitty speakers or have conversations where they hold their phone like a walkie-talkie and then shout the whole discussion. 5. And a recent non-public transport one. People who want to be at the front of a concert and won't put the effort in to arrive early, so just force their way through a crowd with 25 of their friends. In short, people basically. Microtransactions in games. Also, single-player games that require internet connection. It doesn't make any sense. Humans. Stores that refuse to take your money unless you give them your email address, phone number, and other such personal information. I've even taken to just leaving the merchandise on the counter and never coming back. I mean, I'll warn them. I'll say, I'm not going to give you any personal information. I can pay you right now with real money, but if somehow you genuinely cannot allow this transaction with only currency, then I'm going to leave and never return. Last place I did this at was a Guitar City. Dude gambled and lost on a 4-digit purchase. I just say no thanks when they ask for email, phone number, etc. And workers are always perturbed. I'm not trying to make their job harder, but how can they be surprised that I don't want to hand out my personal information? The bastards have my debit card information from my purchase. Is that not enough information? I don't know how to. Motherfucker, go and learn about it. Most of the time it's dumb PC shit that you can Google and solve the problem yourself. Or even worse, can you do this for me? I don't know how. Okay, come here and I'll teach you now. I don't need to learn if you can do it for me. Getting old. People who don't know how to use the fast passing left-hand lane. Edit. I'm glad my daily dose of road rage earned me my first silver. DC Universe movies. I've been a DC fan since a kid, always preferring Batman and the Justice League to the Fantastic Four and X-Men. I read both, just prefer DC. Marvel has done a great job creating a series of movies that almost always work and appeal to a wide audience. Starting with Man of Steel, DC undertook a personal mission to make the lousiest, underwhelming, room temperature piss movies they can. They're not exciting, they're not entertaining, and they always inevitably leave me wondering how the hundreds of people who had a part in making each movie didn't bail on that shit when they realized how uninspired that shit was. I have much more to say about this. Game developers making multiplayer games. I don't have friends, you rabbit rectums. When a television show starts to add love triangles or relationship drama to their show because they ran out of ideas. It's when I know to stop watching a show, or when it's starting to go downhill. America's broken healthcare system. The plot of the movie Grease. Danny was an arsehole who was ashamed to be with Sandy. She didn't need or want him to change into a preppy jock. She just wanted to be treated with respect. But she should have just thrown out the whole man. Goddamn yogurt. There's too much of it. Do we really need like 7 different kinds of blueberry? Do we really need regular yogurt, Greek yogurt, French yogurt, Australian yogurt, German yogurt, which isn't even friggin' yogurt. It's a kind of cheese FFS, Icelandic yogurt, and a bunch of other countries' regions. Do we really need regular yogurt, whipped yogurt, drinkable yogurt, and squeezed tube yogurt? How about cow milk, sheep milk, goat milk, soy milk, coconut milk, almond milk and rice milk? And don't even get me started on goddamn fruit on the bottom friggin' yogurt. I did not just pay $3.50 so that I have to do half the work. Needing 5-10 years of experience for an entry-level job. The headphone jack not being included in new cell phones. I work on a kitchen line as a line cook. For fuck's sake, people stop coming in 15 minutes before we close. We have lives. Anti-vaxxers. They are dangerous, delusional people who must be stopped. Bugs. Fuck bugs.